Internet, we're doing another painting project finally. I know you guys have been so patient with me. I've been having some other kinds of projects happening. The last time we did a painting project was these guys, the Barbarian Brothers Brigade. They are the brothers of the Snake Bear, one of our NPCs in the GetherVerse. Today, we are going to be painting this guy. Now this 3D sculpt and this image were made by Loot Studios. They do STL's monthly subscription. Fantastic everything. I basically love everything that they do. But today we're tackling this Walrus Fisherman. So obviously, to get ready for this project, I had to 3D print. They printed it for me down at the Nerd HQ, and I love, they've got a resin printer, so when I want a miniature to really have that extra fine details, which is everything from the studios, I take it down to Nerd HQ, or I send it over, rather, the file. So prepping on this one, basically, if you're seeing me here, get the base coats on the big block areas, so green on the cloak, and then kind of a white tan. And then after we've got the base coat on, I'm basically going through right now, and I'm going to be adding some tans and browns, because this guy is covered with straps and buckles and bits of rope and like compasses and gear and bottles and hip pouches and all kinds of things that you would need for fishing or spearing in this case. And lots of, probably the most detail per square millimeter that I have painted, maybe ever. And it's I wanted to try and hit each one and not just rely only on highlights and washing. You know, that those things are wonderful, and we'll still have some of that undoubtedly, because there's actually several points I can't reach. But I really liked kind of taking my time and trying to find every tooth and every clasp for the walrus guy, and I love the metal mixed with green for the fish. Positive thought for today is that some of the functionality of painting is starting to take less focus, take less stress and energy, and doesn't strain my eyes or my wrist as much as when I was first so intensely worried about every stroke. That, you know, worst case scenario, I put too thick of paint and I fill in a detail, or worst case scenario, I hate it and I have to paint it over again, or, you know, like, there isn't really a bad scenario. I'm gonna get some art experience and most of the time end up with something that either I'm proud enough to show you guys, or is adequate enough to go on the tabletop and be used. And that's really our two big goals here, are to show people that you can be any amount of noob and still love the stuff that you make. And the other goal being, we've got practical tools and things that we're adding to the table. Kind of a reverse sponsor. They did not sponsor. This video is not sponsored in that way. But definitely can't have a 3D print without a quality STL. Can't have a 3D print without a 3D printer. So sending out, I guess, shout outs instead of sponsors to Loot Studios for creating this awesome STL, and to Nerd HQ for 3D printing it on their resin printer. So special thanks to you guys. for you in the chats and in the comments. I have done bunny barbarians with 3D printed parts. This is a anthropomorphic walrus. We have tigrins. We did a whole series of catfolk, and so I want you to put in the comments what you think our next Animalian NPC should be. I know we've already had some suggestions for Mitker and also for Ketsul, and if you don't know who they are, you'll have to go read their stories on the Discord. But let us know what Animalian you want us to have a project around next. I think I spoiled my own section, the GetherVerse possibilities here. Anytime we paint, it just means that they get to be a miniature on the table, and they get to have an NPC built around them. Alright, I am liking how this turned out, and there are parts where you can see that my lines aren't super fine, and I didn't do anything with the base. That's a separate, in my mind's eye, separate project and separate video, but this is a cool miniature. This is just such a neat thing that I'm very excited to put on the table for my players. Thank you for tuning in. You survived me again. If you like the stuff that we're doing here, you can like and subscribe. Also, please think about doing the Patreon. We need every help that we can get on the finances part as well to keep being able to do the projects that we do. We also are super close to 100 subscribers, so 95, 94, 95 at last check. So help us, tell your friends, help us push over that next mile marker, and we'll make sure to do a video commemorating that as well. Wow, I did it twice in one video. I spoiler alerted the next section. Coming soon, we hopefully will have something celebrating our 100 subscriber mark. We've got the little up on the stacks right here. We've got the little set in resin 3D printed play button that I made for their 50 subscriber mark. So we'll see what we can come up with for that 100.